So you're thinking about moving to Clark County, Washington, but you're not sure which city. I got you covered. We're going over every city in Clark County today. Welcome to the Living in Vancouver and Camas, Washington YouTube channel. I'm Hannah and I'm so excited you're here today because we are going over all of the cities in Clark County, Washington. And hey, if you want to be the first to know about all things living in Clark County, Washington, Vancouver, Camas, every other city, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I'm really excited for today's topic because I talk to a lot of people who want to move here, but they're not exactly sure which city is the right fit for them. So I'm just going to give you a bird's eye view of each city. We only have 9 on the list, even though we got a lot of land here. You know, our more rural cities are pretty spread out. The first town I want to touch on is Le Centre, Washington. Le Centre is in the north part of Clark County, up the I-5 corridor, and this isn't even actually a city. It's a town of 4,000 people. It's tiny. So when you think of small town living, Le Centre is definitely something that comes to mind. To give you some perspective, there's just one elementary school, one middle school, and one high school. So it's one of those scenarios where if you're the kid going to school, you know everyone and everyone knows you. If you like that, this might be a good spot for you. If you don't like that, that's too close for comfort, maybe not. There are a considerable amount of homes that are on their own parcels of acreage, you know, between 1 and 5 acres usually, and they're big luxury estates, and they're just out there on their own for the privacy. But then of course we also have the subdivisions with smaller homes. What I will say is that the home prices in Le Centre are definitely more affordable than what you're finding down in Vancouver, Camas, or Washougal, because it's further away from all the amenities. And Le Centre itself, the city, is very small, so for most of your big shopping, you're gonna wanna go to Woodland, which is just a couple minutes away. That brings me into talking about Woodland. Woodland is our northernmost city in Clark County, and it's centered right around I-5. I-5 kind of goes right through it. Population of 7,000, so just about double what Le Centre is. Definitely bigger. We've got like Safeway and Walmart there, so you're not out in the boonies with nothing but a general store. And Woodland definitely has more of an established population. Folks that have been there for a long time are definitely protective of the city. They don't necessarily want to see it super developed, maybe like Ridgefield has been. So more older homes there. Also, part of Woodland is in Cowlitz County, which is the county north of Clark County. So I mostly serve Clark County and the bottom part of Cowlitz County, but just for your information, that's what's up with Woodland. Next city I want to talk about is Battleground, Washington, which is up in the northeast corner of Clark County. And Battleground is a bigger city. It's a city of 20,000, so there's more schools than just one for each level. A lot more kids there, a lot more people there, but still it's rural. It's 72 square miles, and 9 of those square miles are the city limits, so there's subdivisions, but then all the other land is farmland, timberland, or people with acreage properties, and they just want the privacy. They want to hunt, whatever it is. And just like all the other more rural cities in our county, you find those big luxury estates out in the country. If you want to know more about living in Battleground, I made a video recently about what it's like living in Battleground, so I will have the link for that down below. Definitely check it out. Another really small rural town we have in Clark County is Yacolt. Yacolt is way up there in the northeast corner of Clark County, and I think this is our smallest town. It's about 2,000 people that live there, and when you think of small town, I mean, that's half the size of Le Centre, so really there's nothing there. I rarely go there just because there's so few opportunities there for people to buy and sell, but land is cheap out there because it's way out. If you want that privacy, it could be a good place to be. If you really love that small town vibe, Yacolt could be the place, and maybe if you're on a budget and you're okay driving more, Yacolt's gonna have more affordable homes for sure. Next city I want to talk about is Ridgefield, Washington, and Ridgefield is right off I-5 as well. It's north of Vancouver. I would say 15 minutes on a good day with no traffic. You can get from Ridgefield to Vancouver. And Ridgefield is very up and coming. I would consider it more of a new community. It's been around for a long time. And fun fact, it was actually the birthplace of U-Haul. Yes, that U-Haul. There's a little sign as you come in. It's like birthplace of U-Haul, so kind of fun. But most of Ridgefield has been developed the last 20 years. So if you like the older homes, you're probably not going to find that in Ridgefield. You're going to find a lot of the new communities with open concept, big kitchens, high ceilings, that kind of thing. You can buy resale, or you can buy brand new homes that no one's ever lived in because they continue to build up there. Good infrastructure going into Ridgefield right now. They're going to be redoing the Port of Ridgefield over the next couple years, making it more of a community space to be and hang out. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. We have 𝐈𝐈 Resort and Casino up there. We have the Ridgefield Raptors minor league baseball, which is fun. And I have a video up about Ridgefield. If you want to check that out, I will have the link down below. And that brings us to my next city, which is Vancouver, Washington. Vancouver has the largest population, of course, out of any city in our county by far. We have 180,000 people here, and it's really big, but you can drive across the city, I would say, in about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on where you're coming from. So our traffic here, unless you're in rush hour, is really good. We have two freeways going north-south and 2 going east-west, so it's really nice for just getting around quickly. And what I will say about Vancouver is there's different pockets. If you've ever heard of like Salmon Creek or Cascade Park or Orchards or Minnehaha, those are different, I call them pockets or parts of the city. And within those pockets, parts of the city, we have subdivisions, which most of us would equate to neighborhoods. That would be like Maple Crest or Dawson's Ridge. In Vancouver, there really is something for everyone in terms of where you want to live, what you want to be around, what kind of vibe you want to have. And for me and a lot of the people I know, everything we need is right here in Vancouver. So shops, entertainment, restaurants, that kind of stuff. Unless it's something really big like MLS soccer or NBA basketball, you can go to the other side of the river in Portland for that, or a special restaurant. But other than that, I pretty much stick to Vancouver and I love it. Next city I have on my list to talk to you about is Camas, Washington. You've probably heard of Camas before. It's got really high rated schools and it is our most expensive city in the county by far. Last time I looked, median sales price there is about $750,000, and for reference, in Vancouver, it's about $500,000. So that's 50% more just one town over. It's pretty small. It's about 6 square miles, and there are about 23,000 people living there right now, and Camas plans to add about another 10,000 people over the coming 15-ish years. So they're poised for growth. And it's a very natural place to be. There's lots of trees. We have Lacamas Lake, Round Lake, so super fun to just be outside. It's a great community to be in. The downtown is thriving and alive, which I love. And if you want to know more about living in Camas, you should definitely check out some of my other videos, and I will have links for those below. Camas also has a considerable amount of jobs for being a smaller city. We have Fisher Investments there, so that's going to be financial jobs for the most part. We have a couple of manufacturing companies that are in like commercial business parks. So if you're more in the engineering technical field, there are also job opportunities for that. Next city on my list is Washougal, Washington, and Washougal is our easternmost city in the county. Part of it's in Clark County, and actually part of it is in 𝐍𝐞𝐢𝐠 County, which is the county east of Clark County. Washougal is another one of those cities that has kind of those two distinct ways of living, if you will, where in city limits we have neighborhoods, classic suburban living, and then we have acreage properties where you can have a farm and you can have the privacy. We have some luxury homes on acreage. We have some cute little old farm homes on acreage. But Washougal is a good place to be. It's close to the river, the Columbia River, which is great. And the downtown is super cute right now. I hope that they bring it back so it's as hoppin' as Camas's downtown. I also have a video up about Washougal, so I will leave that link down below in the description as well. Last area I want to touch on is Brush Prairie / Hockinson. So I would say this is the most confusing area of our city. Brush Prairie is technically unincorporated, so you'll see addresses that say 123 Main Street, Brush Prairie, but they don't really have their own city government or things that go on. There is no Brush Prairie School District, and Hockinson is actually a part of Brush Prairie, so it's like, you know, a pocket, an area, and that's the east part of Brush Prairie. So if you live in Hockinson, you'll have an address that says still 1234 Main Street, Brush Prairie, but you're in Hockinson, but Hockinson has its own school district. Kind of confusing. Most of Brush Prairie, and especially Hockinson, is rural, and you've got homes anywhere between old, cute little farmhouses to big luxury gated estates. So that is all 9 of the cities, the towns in Clark County, the main ones where things happen. And I know it was kind of quick, but I just wanted to give you a brief overview. If any of those feel like they'd be a good fit for you, like I said, I have in-depth videos about some of them, so feel free to check those out. And you know, reach out to me if you're thinking about making a move either 9 days or 90 days from now. Dubai Realty Group is happy to help you out. And if you are thinking about moving here, you should sign up for my weekly newsletter called Weekend Happenings with Hannah, where I put out a newsletter every weekend and I give you the best activities that are happening. So you can kind of see what it's like living here. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.